I've searched all of YouTube with every guru I could find to see what is the best way of making money using AI. And I came across Midjourney. There are countless claims of people saying you can make thousands of dollars per month. So instead of me spending the next 10 years trying to learn and master the craft of art and become a real artist, I'm gonna spend 5 minutes learning Midjourney and sell my art on Etsy. Now, I believe everybody's lying about the side hustle, but I could be wrong. So in this series, let's put them to the test. We're gonna be creating real products on a real store, and I'm even going to be taking real money to advertise and see what we can do and see if we can actually build out a real business using Midjourney. Now, the first step is to find out what can we actually sell. What is it that we can take this art and actually put it on that will sell in the market? So now when we're looking at Etsy, we can see there's stickers, there's mugs, there's even blankets. Of course, there's shirts. Now, if you saw my video on print on demand, you'll know how I feel about selling shirts. Low margins, very difficult to sell. We're looking for something that has a good amount of reviews, positive feedback, and also something that is active. So if we see products that good reviews, good positive feedback, but we don't see recent sales, and as our proxy for sale will be recent reviews, that'll kind of tell us that maybe this product is dead. Very possible. The other thing we can use is we can actually try searching on a service like eRank to try to generate some ideas as well. But I think we've got a good basis that we can start doing a little bit more digging. So let's take a look at Printify. If you don't know who Printify is, they're one of the print-on-demand providers. Essentially how they work is they work like a marketplace for other print-on-demand companies. So you, as somebody who's looking for the service, can use Printify to connect with other print-on-demand providers. So let's take a look at some of the products they have. Again, we're seeing like mugs, they've got some shirts. Okay, you know what? I think wall art might be a good option. The margins, they look kind of good. This is something that I could probably even produce at my house with my own photo printer. I'd be limited in the size. I can only go 13 by 19. And you know what? I don't want to have to deal with fulfillment. I don't want to have to deal with any of that. Let's make this as easy as possible because everybody else said this is super easy. Let's just use Printify, and I think we're going to stick with wall art. So print on demand, essentially it's a service that allows us to create all of our designs. They'll handle all of the fulfillment. Really, it's a plug and play. It connects directly with Etsy, so we don't have to have or handle any inventory. But the one thing that we still have to be aware of is that anytime our printing provider needs to ship out a product to our customer, we actually have to pay for that product. Then we'll actually receive the money from the customer, but there's a little bit of a delay for that. So even though we don't have any inventory, we have a little bit of a required float. And that float is basically the time in between when we get the money from the customer and when we have to actually pay. So this is important to note because it also means that if we want to grow fast and things start moving fast, we will actually require a bit of capital for this. Don't worry, if I need the money, I'll find it. So we have our products, we have our provider, we need to start generating some artwork. So if you don't know what Midjourney is, essentially it allows us to create a near infinite amount of artwork, and with the right plan, you can even sell that artwork that you create. There's 2 versions of the paid plan. One version, everything you generate is public domain, everybody can see it. And the more expensive version, you can go into private mode and then nobody can see the creations that you're making. Personally, for me, I like to keep things private. So to get some ideas for the prompts we could use, let's actually go and browse the existing artwork that's already been created by other people. What it's going to do is it's going to allow us to get some basic ideas of prompts that we can then modify to make our own. So here, we're going to try and recreate this one that we just found right here. We'll make a few changes to see how it looks. You know what, this doesn't look too bad. Let's see if we can start bringing it into Printify. Now that we have our artwork, and before we actually bring it into Printify, we need to bring it into Photoshop and we've got to upscale it. And the reason is because currently Midjourney generates a lower res file. And if we try to print this at a much bigger scale, then when you get the printed image, we'll actually have some pixelation and it won't give us a good customer experience. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring it into Photoshop. We're gonna upscale it. I'm even gonna use my photo printer to print a 13 by 19 version just so I get a proxy for how it looks when it's a bit larger and make sure that we don't have any pixelation. Now that we're all done this, we're gonna bring it into Printify. All we need to do is select the product, select our sizes, drop in the file, put it on the canvas, let it generate. Now, because we're trying to use AI as much as we can, let's use ChatGPT to come up with some titles and a product description. And after that, we're just gonna set the pricing, send it over to Etsy, and we're good to go. There is one issue that we're gonna have to try to overcome. We're gonna try and figure out if we can do that. We're a new store. So because we're a new store, Etsy isn't gonna promote us. We've got no social proof. So if you wanna think about how Etsy works, their main bread and butter is gonna be from the sales. It's not the listing fees, it's really the sales of the products. So they're gonna wanna keep pushing things that are selling well because they'll make more money. We have no social proof, we have no sales. So there's no incentive for them to push us. There's a solution to that. We're gonna have to run some ads. Now, the whole objective when we start running ads, it's not even to make a profit. The first objective is just to get 5 to 10 sales, get some reviews, and start having some social proof. Once we have that, then Etsy will start promoting our product because they'll see, hey, this is now an up and coming shop. They have real sales. Let's start promoting them through our organic channels. For the ads, basically, all you gotta do is you select the listings that you wanna promote. Etsy's then gonna use the title, the tags, and the descriptions to try to place your ads in front of the right people. Now, the biggest issue I have with Etsy ads is you can't do any other targeting. So when I run Facebook, TikTok, or even AdWords ads, so Google ads, YouTube ads, you can select some targeting. You can target keywords. For Facebook, you can target people who are interested in wall art, for example. You can get really specific as to who you think your target audience is. And then you can even do something called retargeting. But in Etsy, we have none of those options. So the best thing that we can do is just set our title, tags, and descriptions as best as we can to make sure that we're targeting the keywords that we want to rank for. Now with Etsy ads, you're only gonna pay when the ad is clicked. So you'll get as many impressions as you need and you're only gonna pay when it's clicked. For me, I like to see a 1 to 3% click-through rate. Anything higher than that is amazing. Definitely because this is a new shop. If I get 1% click-through rate, I'm feeling that this is working well. So what does this mean? This means that I need 100 visits to a listing for me to get 1 sale. I've read that the cost per click for Etsy is somewhere around, say, 30 cents, maybe all the way up to like 50 cents. So let's just say it's 40 cents. What that means is that for me to get 1 sale, I need to spend $40. It'll cost me $40 per conversion. So depending on the size that people have selected, if they select some of the smaller sizes, I might actually be at a loss. But again, we're not trying to make money on this first one. All we're trying to do is see if we can get some sales. Let's see if we can even sell something. And now the moment we've all been waiting for. So after 1 week, can I place my order for my brand new Lambo, please? Let's take a look at how much I made. We started basically on the Monday, went to the Sunday, and we looked at, and we got 3,911 views. This resulted in 39 clicks. That works out to be about a 1% conversion, which is perfectly fine. We spent just over $13 for these ads. One of the reasons that our views might be low, it could be that there's very low demand for this type of product. Could also be that Etsy still doesn't trust us and they're just not showing our shop. There could also be an issue with our title, our tag, our descriptions. But with that, because I was looking at competitors and the titles and tags that they were using, I tried to make sure that that wouldn't be an issue. It's still possible. So after 1 week, we didn't make 1 sale. Now I know what you're thinking, Chris, it takes more than a week to build a business. And like I said, really, we need at least 100 clicks before we can call it a complete dud. I do have some ideas that I think might turn this around. But what do you guys think? You think this is a complete failure? Like, is it even worth it to keep trying? Depending on when you're watching this, you might be able to click right here to see what I did next and to see if you can make money using AI.